So, students, today we will be talking about the histology, function, and disorder of the endocrine gland. When we talk about the histology, so histology is the structural study. Now, how the histology studies have been done? To do the histology study, what we do, we take the section of that particular tissue, and that thin section is been observed under the microscope. There are the various stages for making the histological slides, but it is not the under discussion today. And thereafter we will be talking about the functions. Now see, each and every gland is having a duty to produce the type of hormone, and this hormone have the profound effect on each and every body. So if these hormones are not been produced in an appropriate amount, why I'm talking about in an appropriate amount, because if the hypersecretion or the hyposecretion of any hormone is happening, it is going to relate a dysfunctioning, or you can say the disorder of our normal metabolic activity. So for that reason, that disorder, and sometimes it can produce the severe effect. We are not going to discuss the small disorder that yes, melatonin is not been produced, so mood swing will happen. The small disorder will not, we will discuss. Majorly we will be discussing about the disorder which happens because of the developmental fault, or you can say the major disorder which causes the major diseases. So that all will be discussed in this particular lecture. Means not a single lecture, we will be having the series of the lecture, because this is the main topic of this particular unit. In that we will be talking about all the glands, but see, all the glands are under the control of the pituitary gland. That's why this particular gland is called as the master gland. So first we will be having the discussion about the master gland. But student, the what do you mean by the master? Master is the one who gives knowledge to all the students. That means all the students under the control of that master in terms of the knowledge. So here, the all the glands, they have their individual hormone, everything, but until and unless they are not getting the stimulus from the pituitary glands, they cannot function. And see, this master themselves not like directly become as a master, right? They also have got the stimulus. So if I am your teacher, my teacher have taught me everything, right? So they are going to be my master. So same way, the pituitary gland, they are getting the signals when they have to produce the hormone, when they have to inhibit the hormone production. All this releasing and starting hormones are being produced by the hypothalamus. So pituitary is under control of the hypothalamus. Is that clear? Now let us discuss. When you will observe carefully, you will find that it has two type of the lobe. One lobe is the epithelial type of the lobe, that is called as the Adeno Hypophysis, and then we have the neuronal component, or you can say that it is the neuronal outgrowth only, that is called as the pars nervosa, or you can say the Neuro Hypophysis. Actually, pituitary gland is called as the hypophysis. So the part which is the epithelial type, that is called as the Adeno Hypophysis. The which is the neural type, that is the Neuro Hypophysis. Now, when we talk about the origin, now see, general organization of the pituitary gland is already discussed when we were talking about the general organization of each and every endocrine gland. So we have seen that it is located at the floor of the skull. Now it is present just behind the optic chiasmata. Now where it is situated? It is situated into the cavity of the sphenoid bone. To be very specific, the name of cavity is the sella turcica. Now, what do you mean by the cavity? Cavity is the depression. Okay, so we know not the cavity slides. It is having a depression. So same way, this sphenoid bone is having the cavity that is called as the sella turcica. So this cavity is holding this small rounded body. Now, what is the weight? It is just a way of the pea, that 0.5 grams, such a small weight but such huge effect. So when we talk about the lobes, so we had already discussed that it is having the pars distalis, pars intermedia, and pars nervosa, three lobes. Now let us discuss about the adeno hypophysis. Now adeno hypophysis, when we talk about, see, the most important topic to be remembered in this thing, that the origin of both the part of the pituitary gland, that is the adenohypophysis and the neurohypophysis, is different. When we talk about the adenohypophysis, so it is derived from the ectoderm of oral outgrowth of oral ectoderm, that is known as the Rathke's pouch. And when we talk about the neurohypophysis, it is produced from the neuronal part. So origin भी दोनों ग्लैंड दोनों लोब्स का डिफरेंट है. So totally, although it is a single gland, but both the lobes are totally origination के बारे में देखेंगे, and their function is totally different. So first we will be talking about the adenohypophysis. So it is a very large, compact, and highly vascular part of the pituitary gland. We had already discussed that it is derived from an outgrowth of oral ectoderm, Rathke's pouch. Now, when we observe it, it is having further three parts. So, first part is the pars distalis, the distal part. Now, I had already explained you many times, proximal distal, right? So, the distal part is the pars distalis, this part. This is your pars distalis. I think I have taken the same color. Okay, so this is your pars distalis part, and thereafter part intermediate. This is the intermediate, the connection between the adenohypophysis and the neurohypophysis. And see the part which is covering the stalk, hypophyseal stalk system. So this particular part is called as the pars tuberalis. Okay. So let us discuss about the cells of the pituitary gland. The pituitary gland cells, these are categorized basically into two groups. One is known as the chromophils. Chromophils, now phil means loving and phobe means hating. So where chromophils and chromophobes, two type of the cells are there. These are the most and most important cell. Now see, chromophils, they are of two type, alpha cell and the beta cells. Alpha cells are the acidophils, that means they, now we know this basic term, that acidophils, they are going to die with the acid stain, and basophil are the cells which are dying with the basic stain. Now see, this acidophils and basophils, they have the granules which opts the color. So that's why they, on the basis of their acceptance of the dye, they are been classified as the acidophil and the basophil. Now out of all this, these chromophils are very important cells. They secrete approximate six type of the hormone that we will discuss. So these are about the cells. Now let us discuss about one by one all three parts. First, we will be talking about the pars distalis. Now, when we say the pars distalis, so it is the largest part of the adenohypophysis. This produces several hormone. Now, if you will see their cells, so what you are observing in the case of cells? Any special thing you are observing? Now you will observe that the cells are present in the group, right? So these cells, they are arranged in the form of the cord. Now in between these cords you will find that there is a space. Can you see this space are present? So this space are nothing but the sinusoids. So why such spaces are been formed? So when these cells, they are togetherly forming any type of the hormone, so there is a passage to for the secretion of the hormone, and from that passage the hormone is going to reach to the target cell via the circulation. So that hormone has to enter into the blood circulation. So for that reason, such type of the passage has been present. Now there are various type of the secretory cells. Now we had already discussed about the chromophobe and the basophils are the main cells of this particular pars distalis portion when we talk about the hormonal secretion. So the main hormones which are been produced by the chromophil are the growth hormone, then adenocorticotropic hormone is been produced, then your thyroid stimulating hormone, follicle stimulating hormone, luteinizing hormone, like prolactin hormone. All these hormones are been produced by your chromophils. Now next part is the pars intermedia. So this is situated between the pars distalis and the pars nervosa that we had already seen in the previous diagram. So this is mainly consist of the basophil. Sometime it shows some type of the colloidal cyst. Now see, cyst is the group of the cells. It is poorly developed in case of the man as compared to the other vertebrate. That's why the man, they do not have. Now see, I will tell you first about the hormone. They are producing the melanocyte stimulating hormone, the hormone which is responsible for producing the melanin, color pigment which gives color to the skin. So that's why we do not have other vertebrates. You will see they have very good colors as compared to the man, right? So why? Because in our case, in the pars intermedia, they have the poorly developed as compared to the other vertebrates. They, in the other vertebrates, it is very much developed. That's why it produces more and more melanin hormone. So the next part is the pars tuberculosis. I told you that it is the upper part which is just surrounding the stalk. As such, this part is not known for producing any type of the hormone, but it includes the vein of the hypophyseal portal system. Last lecture only I told you, portal system, portal system means the system which is collecting a secretion from one gland, and through the blood it is dumping to the other gland. In case of the endocrine system, we will be talking about gland. Otherwise, from one tissue to the other tissue. Is that clear? Now hypophyseal portal system का जो है सबसे important part है ये pars tuberculosis. It consists of the cord. It is having the clusters of the chromophilic and chromophobic cell. But here in this case, these particular cells are not known for producing any type of the hormone. When you will observe the cell of this particular region, you will find that these cells are the polyhedral in shape. Polyhedral shape means 3D type of the shape which is having the polygonal face with the sharp edges. Now if you will find this polyhedral shaped cells, so you will find it is having centrally placed nucleus, and their cytoplasm contains the fine granules. Pars tuberculosis, as such, any specific hormone has not been considered or not yet studied. So let us revise all the part. First we have discussed about the pars distalis, in that we all have seeing that the cells, they are formed, or you can say arranged in between the cords, and they, after they are having the spaces where they can secrete their secretion, or you, to be very specific, the hormone. The main hormone produced by this particular region is your growth hormone, adenocorticotropic hormone, your this thyroid stimulating hormone, follicle stimulating hormone, luteinizing hormone, prolactin hormone are being produced from this particular region. Only one hormone is being produced by the pars intermedia, and in the case of the pars intermedia, you will find that in case of man, it is poorly developed, and it just secrete one hormone, melanocyte stimulating hormone. Okay, and usually the cells are of basophil kind. Then we have talked about the Pars tuberculosis, the main thing what we have learned in this, it do not produce any hormone. Is that clear? And thereafter we have a discussion that it is having the cord or cluster of the chromophobic cell, and their cell, they have specialized polyhedral cells which is having the centrally placed nucleus, and their cytoplasm contains fine granules. So this is all about adeno hypophysis, the most important part of the pituitary gland. But it is not like that the neurohypophysis is least important, but neurohypophysis is the part which do not produce any hormone. ओके, इट डू नॉट प्रोड्यूस एनी हार्मोन. ये जो है अपना हाइपोथैलेमस के हार्मोन पे काम चला लेता है. न्यूरोहाइपोफाइसिस इज द पोस्टीरियर लोब ऑफ द हाइपोफिसिस. इट कंप्राइज ऑफ द मीडियन एमिनेंस. This is your median eminence. Okay, bachcho. From that, it is having the stalk also. Stalk is the region which connects the pituitary gland from the brain. So here only you will find the infundibular stalk as well as the pars nervosa, this region. Okay, bachcho. Now, it do not produce any hormone, but it stores two hormones. What two hormones? Can anyone tell me the name? We had discussion in the previous lecture: oxytocin and the antidiuretic hormone. Now, see, if you will observe, 25% portion of pars nervosa, it is comprised with the unmyelinated axons, an axon terminal of the neurosecretory neurons, which is basically located. Now see, this neurons, it is ending here from where it is originated or from where it is located. It is located inside the hypothalamus. Now where the hypothalamus, there are two important nucleus. One is the supraoptic nucleus, another is the supraventricular nucleus. There are various other nucleus also into the hypothalamus, but here these two neurons which are innervating inside the pars nervosa, this originated from this particular two neuron. One is this and another is this. Okay, so now there are first neuron, that is the neuron of optic nucleus. Supraoptic nucleus, if you will observe, you will find that here osmoreceptor is there, thirst center is there. So definitely it is going to produce hormone which is related to this. So it is going to secrete the antidiuretic hormone, okay, which having the role into the osmoregulation. Now the hormone is going to be produced and it is going to be secreted inside the neurohypophysis, and neurohypophysis just store and release the hormone when it is been required. Is that clear? Now the second hormone, that paraventricular oxytocin hormone, that has been produced by the paraventricular nucleus. Now this oxytocin works on the uterine wall, that we all are going to discuss about hormone in detail into the next class. So these hormones are transported. How these hormones are transported? Because we know that these are the neuron directly do not transfer any type of the hormone, because we know that they transmits the signal. So how these hormones are being transported? So these hormones are transported by the carrier protein that is known as the neutrophils through the exoplasm. Now this secretory granules, they collect the end of the axonal process. Now this let us see its histology. There is the herring body. Herring body is nothing but the end of the axonal process, and from the axon terminal, hormone are released inside the blood capillaries, and thereafter all these hormones are distributed to the target cell. So this is all about the histology of the your pituitary gland. Now let us discuss about the next part of this particular gland, that is the functions of the pituitary gland. So today we will just discuss the about the hormone in detail. About each hormone we'll discuss into the next lecture, as well as we will be talking about the various type of the disorder, or which has been produced because of the inappropriate functioning of all that gland. So first hormone is been produced is the growth hormone, that is also called as STH hormone, somatotrophic hormone, or the growth hormone. Name ही बता रहा है that it is having the role into the growth of an individual. Now growth hormone is having two type of effect: direct effect and the indirect effect. We will have a discussion into the next lecture about in detail about all this hormone. Then second is the adrenocorticotropic hormone. Adrenocorticotropic, so what do you understand by it? That it is going to have a relation for the production of the corticoids, where the corticoids have been produced. Yes, corticotropics have been produced into the adrenal gland. Then next is the thyroid stimulating hormone, so where it is going to work. Now see, every hormone they will be working on some other gland. Okay, they themselves are not going to function directly. So here only we can see the growth hormone, every hormone. Now growth hormone, this is the blue color hormone, so where it is going to work, it is going to regulate the body growth, fat metabolization, then as well as it is going to stimulate the glyco granules, this blue color. Okay, follow this blue color, so you can see this growth hormone, it is coming here. Then adenocorticotropic hormone, so it is having this orange color, where it is going to regulate. So corticoids hormone, that means the adrenal gland hormone. In detail we all are going to discuss into the next class. Then next is the thyroid hormone. So thyroid hormone, what is the function of it? It stimulates the thyroid gland to produce the hormone. Whatever, what are the hormone of the thyroid gland? Thyroxine, thyronin, and all we all are going to discuss in detail. Then follicle stimulating hormone. This येलोइश ऑरेंज, सो फॉलिकल स्टिमुलेटिंग हार्मोन फॉलिकल्स के ऊपर काम करने वाला है. सो इन केस ऑफ द मैल, it is going to tell the gonads to produce the follicles. Man में क्या होगा? Which gametes are going to be produced? Sperm. So spermatogenesis will be evoked with its effect, and in the case of the woman, it is going to produce the oogenesis. Is that clear? Then next hormone is your luteinizing hormone. Luteinizing hormone, again it is going to stimulate the production of your sex hormone. Then next hormone is LTH, lutetropic hormone, or prolactin hormone, or lactogenic hormone. So this luteinizing hormone or the prolactin hormone, it is going to function in the case of the woman. That's why it is not been shown here. So the main function of this hormone is stimulation of the graphene follicle to secrete another sex hormone, that is called as the, I'm extremely sorry, it is going to stimulate the development of the mammary gland, as well as lactation period only this hormone is going to be activated. Then two hormones are being produced by your posterior pituitary, that is the antidiuretic hormone and your oxytocin. So antidiuretic hormone, it is going to again function on the your kidneys, and it is going to stimulate or tell the kidney to control the osmoregulation. How it is happening, we will discuss into the next class. And oxytocin, again, it helps into the parturition. Parturition means the delivery of a baby. So this is all about the anterior pituitary. Hormonal discussion will be done into the next class. Any doubt anyone have? Yes, students.